Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Scott Solembrino, the COO and Executive Director of GBTA. We're here live in Calgary for the Western Canada Conference. And today, I have the pleasure of having Ed Sims, the President of WestJet, as my guest. Ed, what a great job you just did on stage.
Thank you, Scott.
We cannot thank you enough. You were informative, funny, and very attentive. Did you enjoy the experience?
Well, you should tell my wife. She doesn't use any of those descriptions about
My wife doesn't talk to me either. Trust me, we're all in the same boat.
It was a wonderful experience and a great audience, a very informed, thoughtful, intelligent audience to be able to address.
We're thrilled that you're here, and we're thrilled that WestJet has been so supportive of us. So thank you for everything that you've done. Talk to me about what you think some of the biggest trends are in Canadian aviation right now, and what should the corporate travel market be paying attention to here in Canada?
This is such a dynamic market. This market is going through very rapid change, not just our own change of ownership, not just some of the processes around consolidation, but a change of the way people are flying. Canadians now, all 35 million Canadians, have a right and a belief that they can fly from anywhere to anywhere. So it doesn't matter if you live in Grand Prairie, if you live in Yellowknife, if you live in Deer Lake, you have a firm belief that you have a right to connect to international networks around the world. So I think one of the first trends I'd pick up on is partnerships. So, a small airline that started only as recently as 1996, like WestJet, was typically non-aligned. Now we have worked so closely, at one time with about 58 interline and codeshare partners. Now we are looking at fewer, deeper relationships with great global carriers like Delta. And our service directly from Calgary, where we are today, directly to Atlanta, is carrying people of whom more than 90% are actually connecting elsewhere on the Delta network.
And it's going to be great for them to bring people into you as well.
Absolutely.
Because they connect back into you through the network back here in Canada.
We have been phenomenally successful in our 23 years of taking Canada to the world, but now we are genuinely bringing the world to Canada. So the second great trend I really want to talk about is the fact that we are now competing as strongly and as actively in the global premium wide-bodied world with our 787 Dreamliners as we have typically competed in the domestic and in the trans-border world. So our premium offering with 16 business class lie-flat pods on our Dreamliners with 28 premium economy seats that are actually with a business class service in a premium seat of 38-inch pitch is the equivalent essentially of many other airlines' business class offerings. So I think we're seeing this evolution of a new WestJet competing as actively transatlantically. It will shortly evolve into a trans-Pacific model. Australasia, Latin America is well within our sights. So we genuinely are taking the world now to this fabulous destination that is Calgary, that is Alberta, that is Canada.
And I hear there's some phenomenal new clubs coming here to Calgary for you.
Within the next 6 months, we will be opening a wonderful flagship lounge.
Good for you.
I want the emphasis being on high tech as well as high touch.
Right.
It'll have essentially digital concierge services. I love the idea that with what we call our reimagined WestJet app that we will be launching in the first quarter of next year, that will be like a traveling companion. It'll help you navigate through the airport. It'll be pushing exclusive retail offers directly to your phone. It'll have your latte or your cappuccino waiting with your name on it by the time you arrive in the lounge. And we'll be rebooking your next vacation. It'll be rebooking your accommodation onwards from your intended destination. So we'll be putting a strong emphasis on digital lounges. These will no longer be the 8,000 square foot upholstered armchair lounges of old. These will be high-tech digital lounges that will be accompanying you everywhere you travel.
Just what people want today, right? People want that convenience. They want to be digitally connected.
They have to be connected everywhere they travel.
What else do you think you're doing to attract the business traveler? Because it's a bit of a change, right? You're moving into this market very aggressively, the corporate market. Do you have a plan on how you're going to attract those people? So
last December, we introduced a new tier into our frequent flyer reward scheme called our Platinum tier, which is very much aimed at those spending $8,000 or more in our scheme. But actually, just as important as the tiering are the things we're not going to do. We're not going to change from having a spend-based scheme. What a spend-based reward scheme means is that you get $1 for every point that you earn by traveling. It's completely transparent. There's no blackouts. There's instant redemption as there is for cash. There is no overbooking. So I think it's really important as we move into this world of carrying more premium, more corporate travelers, to remind ourselves of the things we're not going to do. We will never overbook. We will never have blackouts on our frequent flyer scheme, and we'll continue to have total transparency.
The Canadian market has to be thrilled that they have this option for the first time in many years. I mean, this is going to be a great time to be you. I mean, it's not a everyday occurrence where you have a market opportunity that's now been opened up in Canada. I mean, the 787 piece alone has to be unbelievable.
Well, we've taken delivery of our first 3. We have another 7 coming in the next 18 months. I am really excited about the opportunity under our new ownership to look at taking advantage of options on another 10.
And you said you're going to Calgary, Paris, Calgary, London, Calgary, Dublin?
We're flying to London daily, we're flying to Paris 4 times a week, we're flying to Dublin 3 times a week. We're looking to expand that network and offer more destinations.
How fantastic is that?
Out of Toronto and out of Vancouver. So I think the really exciting opportunity is that Canadians have got used to having 2 more or less even-sized domestic competitors. Now they're going to have 2 more or less equally sized international competitors.
On beautiful new planes.
On beautiful new
What's
aircraft.
the average age of your fleet?
The average age of our fleet is less than 7 years. That is a major point of
How fantastic
benefit.
is that? I mean, that is so important today in today's market. I really believe that when you have an opportunity like this, somebody always finds a way to fill that void. And WestJet certainly seems to be well positioned to walk into this corporate market and really have a presence.
We have been profitable, Scott, for 86 out of our 88 quarters that we have existed. There is no airline in North America that has a comparable record. The closest competitor is Southwest, who have themselves been remarkably consecutively profitable. We have a very strong asset base. We now have a very driven and motivated new owner in Onyx, who are 100% Canadian private equity firm. They are not making us awash with cash, but they are putting capital behind our business plan, and they paid a substantial premium when they made their announcement on May the 13th of the acquisition, because they believe in our strategy, and just as importantly, they believe in our people.
Well, I think with your background, your experience in aviation, and you understanding exactly what the market wants today, that WestJet will be very successful in this market. It's been a pleasure having you here today.
Thank you, Scott.
With that, everyone, I would like to thank you. I'm Scott Solembrino from GBTA live in Calgary, Canada. Hope to see you all soon.